Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. So we're going to start in the center of our page, and we're going to start with the eye. Let's start in the center here, and draw a curve that goes out, curls around the side, and then back to that same point. So we just want to make a sharp little point at the end there. That's for the inner part of the eye. We're going to shift over to the left side, I'm going to draw a point. This is where I'm going to draw the opposite, so the flipped version of this side here for the left eye. So we're just going to go out, curve around, and then come back. And as I'm drawing this, I'm just checking back really quickly with my eyes to make sure that they're the right size and shape. From here, let's draw the pupil. So up here, I'm going to just draw a partial circle on one side, and then draw a circle on the top right corner for the highlight. And we're going to go in and color that in black. Now we're going to be drawing Toothless's head in sort of an angle, so you'll notice that this eye is higher than this one here because its head's going to be tilted this way. So we're going to draw the pupil on this side, so again, sort of a half circle. And we'll draw the highlight on the top center, and color the rest in black. Okay, and from here, we're just going to find our center point here and draw the nostril. So we're going to leave a gap in between the nostrils. So on one side, we're just going to draw a curve that goes up and out. Same sort of thing on the left side, so up and out. Now the bottom of the mouth is pretty low, so like right about here is where the bottom of the head would be. So we're going to work our way around. So his head is kind of oval. So as it comes around, I'm going to find my center point here. I want to start right about here where the top of the ear would be. Curve around the eyes. Now I'm going to take my time and try to get a nice smooth oval to right about there. I'm going to go up here and draw this side of the head. Try to meet up with that point at the bottom there. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, then from here, I'm just going to draw some eyebrows. So starting up above this eye, I'm just going to curve around the top edge of that eye like so. And on this side, I'll curve around on that side like that. Okay, now if I imagine this head being a complete oval, at the top here, I'm going to just finish off the top but leave a gap on either side here above the ears. So what I mean is I'm going to go across like so, leaving a gap, an open gap on either side. This is where the ears are going to go. So let's do an overlap. Let's move over a little bit on the left side and curve out and up. Then from this point, I'm going to come down and kind of curve around to an overlap on this side here. Over here I'm going to do the same thing. So overlap, going up, round at that top, and come out, and start to come back in to overlap that point there. Now up on top of the head here, he's got a couple horns, so I'll leave a gap in the center. I'm going to go up, and I'm going to round at the top and curve down to that point. So the same thing on this side. So going up with a curve, rounding out down to that ear there. Now he's got a couple bumps along the top edge of his forehead, kind of like dragon warts. So we're going to just draw these little bumps that go all the way up the center of the head. I'm going to fit maybe 4 in here. There we go, 4. On the side of the head, he's got these little horns again that sort of flare out. So right about here, I'm going to draw a straight line that goes out. I'm going to round out that top and curve that back in. Let's go to the right side here and do the same thing. So straight line going out, round it out, and then kind of come back inwards. I'm going to leave a gap below this and go straight out, round out, and then just kind of bring that in. So it's a little bit smaller. This side I'm going to go straight out, round it out, and then curve this back into the head. Okay, so there is the head. Let's get into the rest of the body. So on the neck side, so his body's kind of like curved this way. So up around here, I'm just going to draw a curve that goes in towards the center of his body. On this side, because his head's sort of twisted, I'm going to have to show a little bit of wrinkle in the head. So coming down a bit here, and kind of doing a curve that goes inwards, like so. Up here, I'm going to get the first arm going. So let's do an overlap, and draw a curve going down. Now I'm going to draw an overlap, because this is where his elbow joint is, so the bottom of his legs will come down to about here. So let's do an overlap, come down to about here. But now I'm going to have to draw some claws, and I'm going to draw some very simplified claws. Let's draw 3 of them. Kind of like how I did the eye here. I'm going to come down a little bit. I'm going to imagine this arm coming around like this, okay? So I just want to draw kind of these little raindroppy looking shapes, but upside down, like so. 2, 3. And you'll notice that I'm sort of changing the angle of them as I go across. Now I can draw the bottom of the foot around behind these claws and go back up. So here I'm going to imagine this line coming down, draw across, across. Now from here I'm going to go up towards his head, and then here I can just draw a little hook there. Let's just draw a little detail in the neck here. I just want to draw a curve going like this, just to show the throat. Let's go up on this side here. I'm going to draw this arm now. So starting right about here, I'm going to curve out, and then down towards the bottom of his foot. And again, I'm going to draw these sort of upside down raindrops, starting at the bottom here, going 1, and I'm going to start to spread them out and change the angle as I go across. Here, let's draw 2, and then we'll draw a third one on this side here. It doesn't really matter how big or small they are, as long as they're sort of in that general line there. Let's kind of close this off here. Again, imagine this line going across the bottom of the foot, close it off in the back. Then from here, I'm just going to curve up. I'm going to do that sort of kind of flick so that we got the elbow joint here. Then from here I'm going to do an overlap and just kind of come up under the armpit. Okay, so there's the front part of the body. Let's get into the legs. So I have the back leg sort of tucked in kind of like a dog. So here, I'm just going to come out and curve this back in like so. Now from here, I just want to draw the bottom of the foot. So let's start here, doing overlap and coming down. And then again, I'm going to draw some upside down and raindrops. Here, 1. Let's do 2. Let's do one more here, 3. Imagine this foot going down behind those nails. We'll tuck that in underneath, like so. Now let's get into the other side. So this leg, I'm going to just kind of show a little bit of it. So making sure that they're on the same height. So right about here. Start here. I'm going to curve this in. Then I'm going to do what I did here. I'm going to do an overlap coming out. We'll draw upside down raindrop 1, and then 2. The other one probably gets tucked in behind that leg. So imagine this line coming down and behind. Alright, let's draw the tail. So I'm going to have the tail sort of whipping up here. So let's start at the top of the tail. So right about here, put a point, and I'm going to curve in, down, sort of like a backwards S, and then tuck that in behind that leg. Now I'm going to start back up here again. As I come along, I'm going to follow alongside this line, but I'm going to get thicker as I get down to this foot. So let's start off thin, just making sure that it starts to get thicker and thicker as I come across and down like that. And then I'm going to draw the little fins on the tail. So let's start below the tip of the tail. Here, I'm going to draw a curve that goes outwards on both sides. And then I'm going to taper this. I'm going to get a little thicker as I get in towards the tail. So right here, let's do another one here. So I'm going to go out, let's go out here, and then I'm going to taper that back in so it gets a little bit thicker. Kind of looks like fish bones, kind of. Go down here and do a really short one, bring that back in, and here, the same sort of thing. And now I'm going to connect these 3 points on either side with a curve. So curving up and in, or down and down and in. Here, coming inwards into that point. Here, I'm just going to curve into that point right like that. Okay, so we got the tail, we got the body. Let's get to the final thing, which are the wings, obviously. So I'm going to have the wings kind of flared up. On this side, it gets tucked in behind the head, and it starts to appear right here. And it's got sort of like a 2-jointed wing. So there's like, the wing comes up from his back, and there's a joint that goes out to the tip. So imagine this wing going up, go up to about here, and then it's going to break in the other direction to the tip of the wing. Now before I finish this off, I'm going to go to the other side and try to get the same size. So I want the tip and the break to be right about here. So I'm going to bring this in behind the head, and then the tip of the wing right about here. So I'm going to go and make a curve like so, making sure they're sort of balanced. Now, like what I did here, I'm going to bring this line back in. And as I get towards this joint, I want it to get thicker. Coming in, it gets thicker. And then now I'm going to follow this line contour down this way, just beside it. Let's do the same thing here. So because I'm right-handed, I'm going to start from the left, moving to the right. So right about here, it's going to start to get thinner and thinner, just like so. And then from here, again, I'm going to follow the contour of this line all the way down right beside it. Just like that. Okay, now let's get into the sort of the fins of the wing. So here, I'm just going to sort of draw these little curves that go inwards. I kind of want to end up back around here. So let's start at the top, curving up and down, or around, coming down and around. We'll do one here. This gets tucked in behind the tail. And imagine this line coming around here, and then right about here, I'm just going to continue on behind. Let's do the same thing here. So I just want to make sure that I'm lining up these little curves. So right about here, I'll come down. The next one would be right about here. Next one would probably be somewhere around here. But now I'm sort of coming inwards. And the final one, I'm just going to tuck this in behind the body. That looks pretty good. Final thing, we're going to connect this point to this with a curve. And with this one here to there, I'm actually going the opposite direction, going up. So, something around here is probably going to go up this way. And I'll probably do it like that. This one, again, let's draw a curve going downwards. This one to here, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. This one to there, I'm going to go in this direction like so. And there's Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. I hope you really enjoyed this lesson. Please make sure you check out our movie characters playlist. We have a ton of characters in there. Get your friends to subscribe. You keep watching and practicing, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.